Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, congratulations, Minister.
Thank you.
Okay, perhaps you could tell us what you think some of the issues, pressing issues that you will be addressing in your ministry. Mike? Who Mike? Mike?
Right, okay.
Yes.
All right, well, I guess just from a cursory look, without having gone into the ministry and seeing what is actually on the table, we have embarked in a place and a space where work is changing. How we work and how we do things in a pandemic will dictate to us maybe a lot of our terms and conditions of employment. These are very gray areas that as we move forward we will have to entreat with. There are also some issues that I know will be difficult with regards to some trade negotiations that are coming up. And given the way we have to work, we will have several challenges with reaching at some safe spaces. But what I would like to do over the next few years is to really focus on the SMEs and the development of the SMEs, because hand in hand with labor, the way we look at work is changing. Nobody has a job waiting for anybody there. And therefore, we have to encourage SMEs to develop, create the impetus and the resources for young budding entrepreneurs to really get out there and maybe start a lot of small businesses, employ one or two people. It's changing, and we cannot use old paradigms and expect that things will somehow work themselves out. We have to be proactive. We have to identify people with skill sets and prepare them to take their place in the economy.
A number of people have become unemployed within this period of the pandemic. And I know that the Ministry of Labor is a place that there's an expectation that the ministry will provide some sort of, not necessarily support, but training or retraining and so on. Is that an area that you would be looking at?
Yeah, well, that falls smack into what I was basically just indicating with the SMEs, in that we either have to ensure that the skill sets people have, we could commercialize it. And where they don't have skill sets, how do we retrain them and how do we retool them? How do we give them new machineries? So a guy on the block wants to open a mechanic shop. How does he get a jack? How does he get a diagnostic piece of equipment? How does he learn to use it? So things change. As you know, if I were to use an example, we don't have mechanics anymore. We have automotive technicians. So gone are the days of the below the mango tree mechanic. The new mechanic with hybrids and sophisticated equipment generally has to be trained to take advantage of that part of the emerging economy. So yes, short answer, we will have to look at skill sets and how we develop those skill sets and work with other ministries in determining how we get there.
Yes, on the topic of COVID-19 and jobs and so forth, a number of union leaders had raised concerns where private sector companies had been, well, their allegation is that they're using COVID-19 as an excuse to change people's terms and conditions and to even to breach collective agreements. Is that something you will be looking into?
Well, we will have to look at it on balance, because depending on who you speak to, you will get a different perspective, a different vantage point. Of course, the entrepreneur is in business to make money, and he is looking at how does he make as much as he can. And of course, the union is there to protect the worker rights and to ensure he gets a fair wage. So we start off in maybe zones of black and white, but I believe there are areas of gray where we can end up that the aspirations of the both sets or the both communities will be met. It's a negotiation thing, and we have to work in good faith. So we can't start by assuming one party is working in bad faith. So